Okay guys, well this is my Rage RC Mini Q live build. Now I've been struggling a bit for position with the camera. I might have that every now and again stop to get the ads that will keep appearing to come off, but we shall see how we get on. This is 1/24th scale, a bit like a Mini Z in terms of its size. So we got a clear plastic parts on there. Owner's manual. That's completely ready to run, so everything that you need is included in it. It is, however, like a semi-kit build. So while we get our transmitter in here, we've got to do things like put the steering on it. It comes complete with, the only thing that I've done prior to this video is charging the battery up, because it comes with a 1S battery charger, battery and battery charger on there. So it comes with that funky looking Mini Q body. We'll get that out of the packet in just 1 second. And comes with all the parts you need to build it. Some of the things, like the diffs and the suspension, are already built, but it is still quite a bit of self-assembly required. So I'm going to pour all this out on the bench. Fingers crossed there's nothing missing. Screwdriver included with it, so hopefully we've got everything we need to get going. No doubt need to get some batteries for the transmitter at some point. Hi there, Fishy Comics. Sorry guys, I've got I've got one computer there. And the other computer this is running on by the side of me, so my apologies if I'm not answering everybody's comments on that. But we'll see how we get on. This is the first sort of live build that I've done, but I asked on Steve O'D's Friday night channel if people thought I should do this live, and people said yeah, could be a good one. Oh, so that's the little body on there, so it looks like that's going to be quite neat. And as I said, battery and charger all to one side. All the parts are labelled. Well, I can tell you right now. Oh, hang on. I thought there for a minute I was going to get quite annoyed, because I thought I could only see 3 wheels, not 4. So I was thinking somebody pinched one out of the box. Which the battery was in the box, but not the battery charger. So I had to delay this by a little while. Come on. Got a bit of care there. There's a built-in on-off switch for the chassis there. Okay, so what have we got? Let's get the instructions open. It's only fairly simplistic, and that gives some people an idea. So everything on it is fairly idiot-proof to install. So this idiot will get on with installing it. Okay, first things first, we're going to need that chassis. So yeah. And it comes with ball bearings all round in the kit. So it has that sort of Mini Z feel to it. Stinky 3 shoes. Yeah, I bought a Yeti Junior, and that was my first small scale RC. Yeah, stressed you out working on it, upgrading it. Yeah, hopefully this is not going to stress me out too much building this. It's literally in the diagrams there, it shows you even shows you even wheel by wheel, part bag number 4, as to which wheel goes on which part, or which axle rather. You've got to be careful, Ken, with a tiny little spring in there that I nearly missed off of the wheel there. Ah. How much can this be, Richie? There ain't that many parts. Sorry, this is my first live build, guys, so do bear with me. And it comes with the diffs. Oh. Apologies. Sorry. Those ads will keep appearing from time to time due to the streaming thing I'm using. The diffs come pre-built on there. No, you use it. I think it's got somebody saying you use screws and glue or what is holding it together. And Ryan also asked how much was. It's about $59 in your local model store, which is considerably cheaper than a Mini Z is. It's quite tricky trying to do this and keep an eye on what's going on screen at the same time. It looks to just push down in place like that. That's my first diff in place. Try not to get my fingers in the way in the camera, guys. Okay, the first wheel with the axle in place on there as well. Rear wheel on next again. Just be careful not to lose that little spring again, which is the suspension. This is not the, I guess, the most sophisticated things, but the fact it comes with 4-wheel drive and the diff's already built up is not a bad thing. Come on. Okay, so that's the basis of the rear done. Front diff. So there comes bearings all round on here. Just going to pop that down. Come on. Well, that so does not want to play nice, the one at the front. Being all plastic, I don't really want to force anything and crack it. Better, that's rotating freely now on that. I'm thinking, yeah, that little plastic part, I see now. Okay. Again, guys, sorry for not replying to the messages as I'm going along. Now at the front end, obviously, just it's the same kind of parts for the wheels all round with the little spring suspension on there, but at the front only one, whereas at the rear the two spigots go in, so the wheel's not going to move too much from side to side. Whereas at the front, obviously, to enable you to steer, just one side is going in. Oh. Sorry, trying to do this on camera and keep my language child friendly is somewhat tricky. There we go. And there we go. So that's the front one, and that's what I meant there about just one hole locating at the front there. So now do the same the other side. First of all though, this little bit, as I said, it's going to be a trial and error as I go along. It's got to go on. There we go. It goes on the bottom like that. So that's going to form the steering, if people can see that. Now fourth wheel. Things are sent to test. There's the spring on this one. It's not falling out. It doesn't want to come out. Trickier than it looks to try and fit this dog bone in at the front at the same time as keeping everything in line. Push those down nice and snugly there, and that now has the front steering sorted. Well, when the servo is attached, it will be. So coming on. Now it does, in the main, it just does screw together, but supplied screwdriver with it, so I'll get the screws out on the bench ready. I'm back into my list of this stuff. A little motor with the gear pre-mounted. I'm just looking ahead as to what's to be assembled on the next page. And that's the drive shaft for the four-wheel drive. A miscellaneous rubber belt. We'll find what that's for in a minute. Like our steering servo in here. Hi Filthy Goat. Vortex, can you get different wheels and tyres? I'm not sure, but I suspect, like a lot of these things, it's probably not identical in size to a Mini Z. So my suspicion would be that parts from the Mini Z will fit it. Okay, I'm all also going to take the remaining clear parts out of the assembly here. So we'll need a few of these on the next screen. How's everybody doing today anyway, guys? I'm not having a good week. I'm fitting the telemetry to my Lotus Super Rockray, and I fitted the new telemetry module to the back of the transmitter, powered the Bluetooth thing up, and immediately the car disconnected itself from the receiver. So I've been on the phone to Horizon Hobby this morning, who have very nicely sorted that out for me, but these things are sent to testers, so one little job, you think you're kind of upgrading something, and then it goes pear-shaped. Now, I'm just trying to work out how that motor fits in at the back. Because when I fit, what's confusing me here, guys, is that I can see the motor wants to go down like this, but I'm thinking, well, hang on, that gear wheel's nowhere near this gear wheel. Well, it obviously is when you put this one in. So that, then I'm guessing, oh, hang on. We've got bearings on the shaft here. Sorry, this is taking a bit of juggling as I'm doing it. Well, that's all good and well, but that barely touches the motor at the back, and that moves up and down. So if I move it up so it touches there, it's barely touching on the motor on there, so I may just need to move that motor gear up a little bit, put the screwdriver under there, but I'm sure that shouldn't be dropping up and down. As you can see, the play in there, that's not that good to my mind. So very carefully going to lever that motor screw up if I can. Oh, it does just mesh, but I can see that dropping back out of there. I think I might need to get another little washer to put in there, because you can see that's flexing up and down way too much on there, unless I'm missing something at the other end. Okay, well, we might have to come back to that one. I might have to shim that out with something on there, but that was something to worry about in a minute. Okay. Next at the front. Oh, tank, 16 inches of snow, my goodness me. Man, it has rained here non-stop in California. Like, the weekend was just a complete washout for me in terms of filming stuff. I got very little done because it was just raining all of the time. Just lining the servo up there. Okay, that's my servo installed in there. So just look at the instructions. Right, now we have one of these. Oh, sorry. Come on. Hang on, guys. Come on. Right, thank you. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. Not looking at the screen, it pops up. It's a new streaming thing I'm using, so I can reuse my iPhone as the webcam, because I couldn't get my couldn't get a good enough view on it without using the iPhone. So I'll keep a better eye on that. Sorry about that, folks. Okay, now screwing down the front suspension and steering setup. Joe and Laurie O'Donnell, what's the point of a live video if you can't watch the video? Yeah, unfortunately, I had to download an app to enable my iPhone to stream back to the computer. And one of the downsides is every now and again an ad appears. Now, I looked at the paid version of this, and it had 1-star ratings because people said it doesn't really add any value over the free one. So I chose not to upgrade. But if I and it wasn't clear if the paid version actually got rid of the ads. Otherwise, I would have got the paid version. But it is evidently the world's most widely used iPhone streaming app, Epoch Camera or something. And I can see out of the back corner of my eye there, one of the little springs has just fallen off the back of the car. So I'll remember to put that on in a second. And just 4 screws holding the thing together, front and rear. So that's the front end all sorted out now, ready to go. Spring back on at the rear. So I'm trying to glance up at the screen more to check that none of those pesky ads keep coming back. The joys of working and going live. The dog bone has just popped out. This is the rear diff at the back there. Come on. Oh. Move that. Start again. Sorry, I'm trying to do it so that my fingers aren't getting in the way too much when I'm assembling the thing. Which is trickier than it sounds. And the pesky loose springs seem to repeatedly keep falling off. Now, double check that's all down nice and tight. Yeah, I saw this when I was down at JJ Customs the other day and thought it looked like quite fun to get building it. So we shall see. Well, as I say, I may need to shim that gear out of the rear to get it to work. 4 screws to the back. I'll then everything down again. Hey, Steve O'D! Steve O'D from 313's in the house. This is watching some of Steve's build-off stuff set me thinking about doing something like this. And it'd be quite funny. I'll show you at the end, guys, what the camera's resting on. Because I really was struggling I promised myself I was going to get it done live today, and I was struggling in the extreme with the camera positioning. I tried using the camera on the top of the computer. We've not got an awful lot of room in the room where I use the computer. Oh, hang on, sorry. Come on. There we go. Pesky ads, sorry. I was in the back of my head to keep up with that. This would help if I had fingers that were much smaller than mine. As I say, I've got the battery all charged up, so I'll see if I can balance the camera on the side and see if we can have a play around with it later on. Okay, so coming together. Look at the manual for the next section. Right, the next bit is assembling the receiver board. And the pressure of the camera, Steve. Yeah, lights, camera, action. So I'm just looking around for one more bit which is in the instructions, but I cannot seem to see anywhere on the side, so I might have to have a hunt in a minute. Our antenna through there. I think I'm doing quite well on my use of child-friendly language so far, because it's just not been easy in places, shall we say. And right now being one of them, because you've got to fit this case, so that gap is fitting over the white connectors on the side there, and that does not want to play ball. Put it in the way I was doing. I don't want to snap the thing in half live on camera. Steve will never let me live it down. There we go. Okay, now that goes down and screws on over the top of that. The bit I was looking like it was missing, that they actually showed this thing stretched out so it looks like a piece of wire on the film on there. Oh, bag with some more screws in there. Always read all the instructions before doing these things, Richie. Michael Kushner, it feels like you're spying on me. Yes, I must get in touch with Mike. Oh. Help. Right. I'll show you the problem I'm having at the minute, guys, right? So when I said I thought it was missing a bit, that bit I was missing is that O-ring. Does that look like an O-ring to you? But that is that part that it's talking about. So you can see my confusion. I was looking around for something else. So I'm not quite sure where that loops over. So I need to have a fiddle with that for a second. Because it's what straps the battery down. However, I'm assuming, if anybody can see, on the underside of there is a hook on there. So what I'm thinking is that goes across there and stretches over the top of the battery. That's what I'm thinking it does. Now, we've got to figure out which wire goes in which hole on that. Right, that's for the battery. That's for the motor. Switch goes on-off switch goes in there, and the one at the front is for the servo. Servo one in there first of all. Fingers crossed that's the servo in good. Okay. One. Okay, motor jack. Motor going in there. Just trying to do these nice and carefully to not bend any of the pins. Sorry guys, it's just this switch jack for going in here, and I'm just trying to make sure I get it the right way around. Because it's not entirely clear. At all. However, I am tempted at the minute to get that down on top, screwed down on top of the car, and then I can worry about looping the O-ring over the top in a second. So I'm going to do that. And I've still got absolutely no idea what those other two screws are for that I've just found. But getting this secure on will definitely help. You've got to finesse it like a woman, says Ryan. Thank you. This is, it's not too bad with it. Some of these self-tapping screws can sometimes be a pain in doing something like this, but not going too bad. Sorry, I keep glancing at the screen, folks, to check now where those darn ads keep popping up. This live stuff, you always end up taking it forever setting it up, and then the picture looks nothing like what you end up wanting it to look like. But hopefully it's coming across okay. Couple of screws down all this top case on so I can stop holding the thing down would help. Oh, hang on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Go away, go away. Thank you. See, glance down for a second. And it comes on like that. Sorry, this bit is somewhat fiddly, guys, to say the least. I'm going to tighten the screws too hard because of it all being plastic. Very conscious it could bust something fairly easily. Interesting to see how quick it goes or not, as the case might be at the end. Oh, you. Child-friendly language, Rich. Child-friendly language. When that fallen out for the second time, nearly wasn't. We're on it. The president's with us. Trump, my love. Yeah. So, anybody think there's going to be another shutdown, guys? Oh, I think there will be. Right, just nearly getting the last few in, guys. Hey, Ryan Fallon, and yeah, the UCX Temper. I was looking at the new one, the Temper 2 down in JJ Customs later last week, and I'm very tempted to get one. The new one doesn't seem to be suffering from, looking at Shen RC's videos, doesn't seem to be suffering any of the torque twist problems that the original ECX Temper did. But we shall see. I was thinking I was missing something there because it didn't seem to want to lock down at the rear, and the front screws weren't wanting to go in. That was because yours truly didn't have it lined up. Now it's lined up, they will go in, and I can finally get to take my damn thumb off this lid. So I quite like that. I had a fully tuned up Mini Z racer a number of years ago that I put quite a lot of money into. And we were moving house, and I can only think that as somebody was walking past the removal van, they went and pinched it off the back of the van because by the time we got to the other end, the car had gone. Yeah, JT Slayer. Yeah. Okay, 2 more screws, guys, and we're pretty much done. Let's charge the battery up. Somebody, the USB charger was missing from the packaging, and we've all got battery chargers that'll do like 6S through 2S, things like that. And then, but you try charging a 1S, trying to find a charger for a 1S battery. There's no way any of my chargers, when I've got 3 chargers, would do it. Anyway, nearly done. Now, I am assuming that these bits are something to do with the body down there, because they don't appear to be anywhere else in the instructions. Speaking of which, now finished that bit of the instructions. There is absolutely nothing on the instructions as to what to do with the body. Now, I have to try and fit. Oh, I see. Okay. It's absolutely minuscule, the power switch there. I'm not convinced I'm putting the power switch in right at all. Sorry for the delay here, guys. I really am struggling to figure out which way in that goes. Well, I'm just hoping that has gone in the right way. Battery. Okay, near to the point of turning the thing on. Now, I'm going to worry about that battery strap later on, guys. Oh, straight on, wanted to put the power on that. So, transmitter. I'm assuming it has not got any batteries in. How to fit the batteries in the transmitter? Little button on the base there for the batteries. There we go. Back in 1 second. One advantage in doing it in this room is this is where I keep all my transmitter batteries. Just takes 4 AAA batteries. "63 million people voted for Donald Trump. I expect over 100 million votes in 2020. The real Donald Trump is with us. Okay. Oh, shiny. Okay, and then we've got steering dual rate. steering trim, throttle dual rate on there as well, so you can dial it down if you're learning. Anyway, let's fire it up. Now straight away the light has come on, indicating it's connected to the transmitter. But as yours truly put it all together, yes, look at that, boys. Now, will all four wheels work? Because that gearing might need spacing out, so I'm not convinced all four wheels will all four wheels are going. Chris the Maniac's first live build is a roaring success. Can't you just feel the speed building? And the crowd went wild. That's not bad, you know. Well, there we have it, guys. Working steering on there. It's even got, as I said, it's got suspension. It's got suspension. Whoa, can I? Yep, let me get rid of the ad, guys. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Now, the body. I'm thinking those two screws and that little metal plate look like those two screws and that little metal plate look like they've got to go through there at a guess, but I'm not entirely certain. See what that's for? Magnetic. So to hold the body on at the back, I'm going to put two screws. Those two screws go through and hold that on there at the back. So let me pop that on. And then we're nearly up and running, I think. I'm just going to have to put it down, guys, because it wants to roll away from me. The magnetic, it wants to pull the screw every damn which way. Sorry guys, let me move that back out there so we can see. One in. Where's the other one gone? Oh, that's one rich. It's a lot harder doing this, guys, than I thought it would be. In terms of looking at trying to look at the camera angle and keep my fingers out of the way so people can see what I'm doing is not easy. And now all the wheels are on the car, the thing wants to move around all the time. Come on, Rich, 2 more screws. How hard can it be? So with this mount on that, then that should then hold the body down at the back, I'm assuming. Come on, Rich. Final push, final 2 screws, boy. Well, other than the one I've got lying on the bench, which I haven't a clue where that's from. We should find out if one of the wheels falls off, though. Nearly there. Yeah. Alright, that's as near as damn it. Now, nothing in the instructions whatsoever as to how to fit that bumper on there. But we shall see. Don't worry about that for the minute. Okay, putting the body on. There's like a little tongue space in there. I don't know if you can see that, guys. In there, a little slot in there. Front of the body goes in there. And then that magnetic mount at the back just clicks onto there. So, all ready to go. Now, first I'm very careful. Oh God. Right, 2 seconds and I will test it. If anybody wondered what has the camera's been balancing on all the time, is this old military RC military truck I've got. Ooh. And it lives. It's quite zippy actually. Way more zippy than I've got room for in here. Good direct steering. Well guys, thanks to everyone for watching, and I will do a better runtime video of it when I can set the camera up a little bit better in a bit wider room and bigger room than this. And I apologise for the ads that have appeared every now and again, but thanks to everyone for watching, and for my first live build I hope that wasn't too bad. Anyway, hope everyone has a great day. All comments and questions welcome, and I'll go through the comments as soon as I finish up here. Thanks for watching, guys.